Join us as we zoom in to the Halal Metropolis, taking a closer look at Muslims in Southeast Michigan and how they're coping with COVID-19. Today we have Sister Sameerah Sadiqq, owner and director of Al Wali Child Care Center in Detroit, Michigan. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you.
Well, could you tell me how COVID has treated you?
COVID has been it's been a blessing and a challenge equally. I feel personally it's been a blessing. It has allowed us to reevaluate what's important to us. It has been a challenge for the business, predominantly for the families that we serve, because early on in COVID, we were closed for 107 or 9 days, causing grave inconvenience to our families. But once we reopened, obviously we have never been at full capacity since, and it's been very slow returning. It's been a greater challenge, I think, for our staff, who is spending more time cleaning and sanitizing than they are servicing, I think, the children. But it's been a challenge, and it's been, as I said, it's been a mercy for us personally.
Okay, so tell me, what process do you take to clean and make sure that the staff and the children, as well as yourself, are safe?
With following our Governor Whitmer's recommendations, we immediately incorporated disinfecting with the smoke fogger thing on a regular basis, which we weren't doing before. We were just kind of wiping down. So, and also following her recommendation, of course, all of our staff wear masks and gloves, and try to, within reason, space our students out. Even with I guess an example of that would be during meal times. So we follow a curriculum that encourages family style eating or dining. And since COVID, that has been kind of flipped on its ear. They're now spaced out. They're not serving themselves any longer. But yeah, our sign-in process obviously is a lot different too. Parents aren't just free to roam throughout the center, and nor are they hovering anymore. It's kind of staggered. If two parents come at the same time, one has been asked to stay in the car until the other one comes in and signs in and leave. So those are some precautions that we've taken to kind of eliminate so much contact. But it's a challenge. It's a challenge.
Okay. In the foreseen future, do you think that more parents will come back, or are they asking you if they can bring their children? And are you in the process of eliminating some to maintain your social distancing? How is that working for you?
So that's still vague. The intent is to welcome all my families back. A lot of them are reluctant because COVID is not going anywhere anytime soon. So those who have alternatives have sought them. But as far as recruiting and getting back to full swing, we've took it upon ourselves to reduce our ratio. The states require 1 teacher to 4 students. We have volunteered to do 1 teacher to 3 students as an effort to do our part. Of course, we would love to have more enrollees, and we are actively recruiting, but the distance thing is still a factor.
I neglected to ask you, when did you open the center, and what was your motivation to do so?
So you meaning not after? You talking about pre-COVID?
Right, pre-COVID. Yeah.
Gotcha. To be perfectly honest, and that's a great question. I'm glad you asked, because I've been kind of revamping my approach to this question. So to be honest, my initial intent was to seek a profitable business venture. Once I realized that I had no idea about the industry that I was barking upon, and began to learn and become a student myself of ECE, then my intentions shifted a lot. And probably within the first year, I realized that this has to be about more about the student and the families and our efforts to really rebuild Detroit over me wanting to seek a profit. Our literacy rate in 2015 when we started was 47% adults walking illiterate. Those adults, not to discredit them by any means, but those adults have their children in our centers. So in my opinion, it was crucial for us to re-establish our intent to educate these young children early on so that they wouldn't be a repeated version of their parents in terms of literacy.
That's very commendable, but you see how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took your small idea, opened your eyes to be a pillar and a force in the community to help not just one generation, not just your household, but several generations to come. And may Allah bless you for not giving up on that, because I know business can be very difficult. And during COVID, it has shaken so many businesses and has closed so many businesses. And I commend you for your steadfastness in your.
Thank you, Wallahi. Wallahi. I have to admit that we have support, and not necessarily just from the families, but in this particular industry, it's a good time to be in this industry servicing children and babies and children. And I say that because whereas our closing was a big inconvenience for our families, it did not hurt the business itself, because as you probably know, once government funding is executed, it's executed for whatever time period it's earmarked for. So financially, we didn't suffer like other businesses who some had to shutter their doors and shutter permanently. So alhamdulillah, that wasn't necessarily our case. Our biggest trial was trying to still be of service to our families during this time, this pandemic.
Alhamdulillah, that's good to hear that you had support in your industry. Well, we're just about at the end of this interview, and I want to thank you for taking time out of your beautiful snowy Saturday.
Right?
With us. And may Allah continue to bless you, your family, and your child care center. And inshallah, you will be able to expand.
Thank you. I mean, that's definitely in the works. And I just wanted to thank you for considering me for your interview for the Halal Metropolis, who is no stranger to the Muslim community. We thank you and all the works that you guys do as well.